Okay, thank you, and good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to be here. And I just heard that we've got a road trip then going to Yellowstone next month, which which sounds like a lot of fun as well too. Well, it's a real pleasure to be here. And first off, I'd like to talk more about the research center itself. So we've created a new research center here called the Center for Digital Inclusion, and the focus here is really to focus on the use of information technology and its impact in our society, and really with trying to achieve very important goals of looking at issues around social inclusion through our work. The center is really the outgrowth of a long-standing tradition here at GSLIS to really develop research projects that engage our community and actually, frankly, use our community as a focus of research. And this builds on work that has evolved through the early days of PrairieNet, the community informatics initiatives, and so forth. And so now we've got a center here, and we're doing a lot of exciting work through the center. And our goals are really to figure out ways to address these issues through the courses that are taught through that are affiliated with the center, and also to engage with very significant problems around information communication technologies, and then take lessons learned to really empower folks to really go out and make a difference to address these issues as well. We've got a kind of a wide portfolio of projects that are going on, and I'll just highlight several of those. I think one area that we do a lot of work is around thinking about strategies. What are important strategies for communities to really embrace and use these types of technologies? And we're learning this through a number of different projects. One important way that we learn a lot about what's happening is a lot of work that we're doing in the evaluation area, where we're actually evaluating several different projects to really try and understand what are those factors that really are driving the types of impacts that we're seeing with information and communication technology. So one of those is a partnership this is new with OCLC, and you guys know OCLC because that's the folks, whenever you guys log in and do a search, they're the drivers of the database. Well, it turns out OCLC has a group that focuses on digital inclusion, and so we're working with that group and their director of digital inclusion to help IMLS implement their Building Digital Communities framework. So this is a framework that's being used nationally, and it outlines a particular strategy for helping communities to address a lot of the digital inclusion problems that are happening locally. And so we're developing a strategic framework that's being used because many of the communities need a strategy, a game plan of how to move forward to do that. We are doing work in the development of next generation networks. So as you all know, here in town, the university, in partnership with the City of Champaign and City of Urbana, received a $22 million grant to build really what's the next generation of fiber optic network in the United States. So this network is actually a fiber network that's connecting not only all around the city, but it's also making direct connections to homes, community anchors, and businesses, particularly in the underserved areas within our community. And so GSLIS has been involved with this project in a number of different ways, and particularly involved with helping to make sure we get people subscribed and signed up and using the network. And it's also evolving into a fabulous opportunity for the university and others to use this as a place to really understand these very important dynamics, because it's very complicated, to try and figure out how do we get over the hurdle of getting everybody up and running and using information communication technology, particularly broadband internet and so forth. We're also providing leadership around the US Ignite initiative, which is a network of networks. So there are a number of other communities around the country that are building these fiber networks. Ours is very unique, but all these communities are being connected together. And that's very exciting because it creates a new test bed for research and new ideas and so forth. In the area of digital literacy, this is where GSLIS has been doing tons of work over the years. And we have a number of projects that are here, but there's a real focus in our work now looking at connections with youth and digital literacy and so forth. So we've got a project with the American Library Association called News Know-How, and Martin Wolski. Is Martin here? I don't. Well, you all know Martin. and ICO are working on. And then now Nicole Cook is joining us with that project. And so this is really looking at new models of digital literacy that can occur in library settings and so forth. We've got grants from the state of Illinois, also looking at ways to further enhance community-based organizations for doing that type of work as well. And then, we play a very important role for the school in terms of teaching what we call scholarship in action, with managing the community informatics certificate. And then also a very important piece of work that not only is scholarship in action, but also research in action in very dynamic ways is the work that Kate Williams and Abdul Kalamat are doing and their team are doing through the Community Informatics Research Lab. So there's a wide portfolio of things that we're doing, and it's very exciting. As we move forward with the UCDB project, this is really becoming sort of a gateway for deeper areas of research. And so part of what we're doing is being able to help others who've got research ideas and want to engage with UCDB to really help be able to provide resources and help with that type of thing as well too. So we're working at the campus level with the US Ignite initiative to be able to do that type of thing. And then just recently, we've been engaged with 2 new projects from the Department of Commerce, the NTIA, which is responsible for the BTOP program, to assist with a couple other projects to try and figure out what do we do with all this data that's been collected around the BTOP program, and how do we make that usable as well too. So very similarly, as you saw with the SIRS project in Yellowstone, we're partnering with SIRS to do further work in that area as well, and also to develop additional tools. And so we're partnering with other folks around campus and other universities on that initiative as well. And so more will be coming out about that, but that'll be extremely exciting as well. So we've got a growing staff, and we're just getting started with getting the center up and running, but we do have a growing staff that are all part of the center as well, which include not only the staff but also our graduate students that we are working with, that are working on these projects. And as these projects come in and land and become fully funded, we'll be expanding our teams to work on these projects as well. But it's very exciting because there's so much that's going on right now in this particular space. I mean, we're really at such a remarkable moment when we think about what's happening in the United States in terms of building greater access, particularly to the internet and to computers. With the Broadband Technology Opportunity Program that I mentioned earlier, I mean, this is really the largest investment that's been made to not only build infrastructure, but also to build programs around broadband adoption, and also to further enhance and extend the work that public computing centers are doing. Another thing that we're doing as a center is also evaluating, the BTOP program and part of that team. And it's pretty remarkable to see what's happening from the little coal hollows in West Virginia and Kentucky to glitzy places like Las Vegas and so forth. But it's amazing to see how much is really happening on the ground, but yet there remains so much work that's needed to really figure out how do we really make information technology and access to computers and broadband a real integral part of people's everyday lives, so people can really address the particular human development needs they might have in terms of finding jobs or taking care of health care issues or taking care of educational needs and that type of thing. And so at CDI, our portfolio is growing in this area, and it's really a great opportunity to really help extend these types of activities here at GSLIS. So be happy to take questions at the end. And we have a poster over there as well too, and we'll be able to be happy to take questions there as well. All right, thank you.